So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to all those that live in Europe, and
User
good afternoon
disconnected
to
from your
all those
channel.
that live in the US, and good morning to those that live in Australia and Eastern Asia. Nick, go ahead.
User was moved to your channel.
Nick?
So we have a couple of things we're going to be going through. We're going to be going through a couple of new updates. The changes to the highway patrol, TeamSpeak 3 communications, a couple of misuse reports of 911 calls, admin tickets, just general work with the teamwork between officers. Back to the misuse of admin tickets reporting better officers and their vehicles, and the misuse of officers calling out priority calls and civs abusing priority calls a bit as well, and also a bit of spam and just fail RP in general. So I think we can start off with Chris actually.
You want me to do?
Chris,
You've got the
speak.
floor, man.
Yep.
Go ahead and speak what's on your mind.
Nothing really. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that joined the LSPD. I don't know if you saw the link that I sent you all, but it's becoming more than I thought it would. It's coming good, but we need to focus on what we actually need to do. For what our actual job is, that means not breaking roleplay in game. That doesn't mean coming to TeamSpeak and shout the highest ranking officer in game. It means reporting it through either admin system or actually asking us to change channel. Doesn't mean spammers and pokes or whatever. We are going to be adding more and more things to the server to make it. But once again, don't keep spamming the admin thing because it pops up on our screen and it's quite hard when you're in an RP scenario and you can't just leave it and then just come and help you. If you need it, then message us and we'll come and help you afterwards. Another thing would be not trying to not no clipping around, trying to find whoever. That's pretty much our job. But yeah, that's all I've got to say really. Just keep doing what you're doing and trying to make it better.
Cool.
Over to you, Nick.
All right. Continuing up the list. So I hope you have something more to say, Travis, about your fire department and all that stuff because
I do.
you made some changes. Yeah. So the floor is yours, Travis.
All right. So the three department heads of the fire department, John J, myself, and Jason J, have made some quite significant changes, as you guys can probably tell by our tags on TeamSpeak. Basically what's going on is I am still the chief of fire and DMS. John is still the battalion chief and Jason is still the assistant chief. That being said, the department is going over to volunteer status. So it's not going to be a full-time department because as of right now, the server's still not quite big enough to run a full-time service fire department. There's just not quite enough EMS calls and whatnot. So that being said, I have transferred to LSPD, where I am honored to be the assistant chief. It's a huge, huge thing. That being said, fire and EMS is not dead. It's not going anywhere. It's still very much there. It's just volunteer for the time. We do plan on in the future, once the community continues growing and whatnot, we plan on bringing it back as a full service. It's just gonna take time. It took a lot of, I guess, thinking and a lot of talking to make the decision. It's definitely not easy. It is distracting, guys, talking in chat, so if we could refrain from that. But no, it will be back. So if you need EMS and fire, you can still make 911 calls, and there will still be fire and EMS volunteers responding. So don't worry about that. Another thing I would like to bring up aside from that is the admin abuse. That's one thing I deal with on a daily basis. I really don't have much on my plate other than work and this community. This is something I'm passionate about. I love running this community. I love being part of the family because it's more family than it is anything. And the admin abuse and the abuse of admin tickets and just all that, it's ridiculous. And it's not so much the people who are in the team speak. That's why we try getting everyone to join the team speak. It's not so much you guys, but if it is you, please know when you send me an admin ticket asking a question about one of the dumbest things, it makes my job a lot harder because I'm getting spammed with 60 or 70 admin tickets every 5 minutes. Sometimes, it gets really insane, and not many people understand that. So when I see ones that are just completely absurd, I just don't have time to deal with it. And then you guys want to get upset with the admins, and again, it's not so much you in the team speak, but then people want to get upset with the admins because we're not responding to them. It's not because I'm not trying to pay attention to you, it's because I've got numerous other things that are far more important than why is my vehicle dead in the middle of the road. You're probably out of gas, or you probably hit someone or something. But that's nothing you want to take it an admin about. So if we could refrain from doing that, it's much appreciated. It helps us out a whole bunch, a lot more than you guys probably know. Um, that's pretty much the two main things that I wanted to brush up on. I'll probably talk a little bit more once other things are brought up, but for right now, I'm going to go ahead and kind of let someone else get their words in. So, whoever's up next, go ahead.
All right, James. Anything to say?
Yeah, I'll say something. Alright, I would like to introduce myself first to San Andreas Highway Patrol, since today I am going to be the Deputy Director, so co-owner of this community alongside of Nick. I've come from a community Tactical Tiger. Some of you may or may not know it, but some stuff happened there, and I've made a decision to come here. Nick initially first left there and started this community, which was driven into a very great success. And after that, I've decided as well today to now officially join the San Andreas Highway Patrol RP department. Sorry, community. So just for those of you that don't know me, my name is James Moore. If you ever need help or anything, just send me a message in TeamSpeak or poke me if it's an emergency, and I will contact you immediately. I have a couple points to quickly go over that came up at the top of my mind since the last couple of days that I've been here. The first thing that I want to bring up is the communication in TeamSpeak in dispatch channels. So far, I haven't been with a lot of cops yet, usually by the number of 5 or 6, 4 sometimes. But we need to make sure that if we're in the series patrol channel and also the semi-series patrol channel, we keep communications clear in the channel. And what do I mean with that? I mean that when you're in a channel, you don't spend minutes and minutes or half a minute talking about something of how your car was broken or how you were parked on the side of the road. Because we are a dispatch channel, and it makes it very annoying that if you're in game and you are trying to speak or listen to what someone says, and you have in TeamSpeak someone explaining how someone drove against their car and now they're just sitting on the side of the road playing or watching Netflix, that doesn't really help. So you need to make sure that when we're in the TeamSpeak channels, we keep everything as short and brief as possible. Obviously, you can say, like, I was just quickly sitting on the side of the road, and that's enough. We don't have to say a lot of detail around it just to keep it clear, because otherwise we'll get people starting to mute themselves on TeamSpeak, and when a dispatcher tries to reach to them, they are muted because they are annoyed because they can't hear anything in game, and then we just get more chaos, making the RP's scenarios or the RP we're in bad. So that's one thing. So don't speak too much. Obviously, in SIF channels, you can speak as much as you want, but make sure you speak in the channels shortly and briefly in RP channels. Also, very quickly, some people weren't sure, especially the CIS, what languages you're allowed to speak in CIF channels. If you're with your friend or whatever, and if you are, German, go ahead, speak German in the CIF channels. Same in the lounges, in the public lounges. If you're sitting with your friends and you're just sitting in a lounge and no one else is there, and you, like 6 of you, speak French, then go ahead and speak French. But if someone joins and he wants to be with you guys and he only speaks English, then you do need to make sure you speak English and attract the person to your conversation. In all of the patrols rooms, English. No matter if you're with your friend, English. Why? We want to make sure you learn your English and practice your English and make sure you will use your English properly in roleplay. And two, if someone does join and they hear suddenly French, it will be a bit annoying. So that's one thing. Then in-game and team working. We have in-game lots of good cops, lots of good civs, but there's always that 25% of civs that just don't care and want to destroy the RP of everyone else because they're just annoying little 12-year kids. We need to communicate better with each other on people that are fail RPing. If someone fail RPs, don't be nice. Immediately send me or Nick a message in TeamSpeak with the number above their head. Don't press the up arrow key and look the number that's in the little display that pops up. We need the number that's next to their name, which you see as that's the way how the system works, which is usually a 4-digit number and it's on the right side of the name. So if my name is James, it would be james.m space, for example, 2678. That's the number I need. And then you need to write that number and then space the reason why you want to get them either kicked or banned, and then space where you are so I can or Nick can see that and then process it, and then either kick or ban the person or leave them depending on how bad it is. But we really need to communicate that with each other because we're not kicking and controlling the server enough. We have too many people RDMing and messing things about and in scenarios. If someone blows something up, smashes against your vehicle, and doesn't come out running saying, oh, sorry, and just keeps on driving, messing up, get the number, send it to me immediately so we can get them kicked and we can get our scenarios and everything thrown properly. As today I was trying to do a banking scenario and I think we did it at least more than 15 times over because people clapped on messing about. Where the next thing comes in, misuse of priority calls. We have too many priority calls and SIFs also in this team speak here getting calls too high. Yes, it's fun to do a bank robbery call or hijacking call, blah blah blah, that's fun. But if you see in the roleplay channel 3 cops, there's no point in doing massive calls or bank robberies or pursuits or drag races or whatever with 7 people because we're 3 cops, which is impossible. You need to keep the call smaller, which makes it funner for all of us. Sometimes the calls might be a bit boring because I'm just pulling over for your plate, but we can't have these massive calls. We had today in the hour I was playing 3 times the bank robbery on the exact same place. So that doesn't work. We need to keep small calls, and yes, we can have one bank robbery maybe once or twice a day, or when we're doing a patrol, that's fine, but not when we have a server with 20 people and only 5 cops. That just doesn't work, and then we get chaos, and we have to reset the server, and everyone gets annoyed. So maybe it's not you, but if you see someone in text typing or someone in the TeamSpeak saying, oh, let's do a bank robbery, and you see in the channel 3 cops, say quickly to him, let's not do that because that's going to get chaotic. And 2, we're just going to ignore it.
User left your channel.
I get some people need money, but you need to still think there are other ways of getting money as well. Not just by robbing a bank, there are different ways of getting money. So I get you need money, but we can't have 15,000 robberies at once. And 15,000 911, 15,000 911 calls. Because that's the annoying thing. Do a robbery, but don't call or get people to call 911 so many times. Because my screen got spammed that I couldn't press F6 anymore to delete it. Because I got spammed by 911 calls saying people are robbing the bank, or a silent alarm went off, or alarm at the bank went off, or a guy with a gun, or my car got stolen at the bank, and this happened at the bank. I got so many calls. Travis, you want to say something?
Real quick too, yeah. Just kind of touching up on that. He's got a point, guys. Me, him, and it was whoever the other officers were. I think John and another one.
Yes.
We responded to the same bank multiple times within 30 minutes. That's unrealistic, guys. If you're gonna do a bank robbery, spread the bank robberies out. Give it at least a 2-hour time between bank robberies, because you're not gonna rob a bank every 10 minutes. And I get it, you need money. I get it that, I get it that the jobs can be screwed up. I get it that it's kind of a pain in the ass. That's not exactly our fault. Some scripts we get don't work. It takes time to develop them. It takes time to get things working. So instead of making it harder for us, you can make it a little easier for us by not just robbing the bank continuously and whatnot. Understand that if a script is messed up, let us know so we can fix it as dev. It's our job as staff of the server to report bug fixes and fix them, right? That being said, to all of the people in the text chat, I'm fine with you stating your opinions, guys, but really, come on. Don't be sitting there pointing finger, well, it's your job, or it's your fault, you nerfed the jobs. Again, it's not anyone's fault. The scripts they can be messed up. It's how it is. Not every script you're gonna get is gonna work perfect upon putting it in the first time. Flat out. Anyway, continue on.
making me come on to the next point. Since I joined today, I will speak to Nick after. We're going to get an improvement in scripts. We're going to get more ways for you guys to get money. For example, where you can be store owners, where you can be tow truck drivers, taxis, Ubers, all that stuff, and you'll actually get proper paid. I already found the scripts for that, so you can actually get your proper money and your money stays. As I have heard some complaints from some people saying that when they rejoined for some reason, their money was gone. But those are just developing skills and things in scripting that we just have to fix. We have, as you see when you join, there's about 87, 90 scripts that you need to download and load in. Those are just the scripts that you need to load in. That's not even with all of them that are there. That's a lot of scripts. So when we need to find a file or a script that's broken, we need to go through, get into the folder, find which file it is, if it's a server or user file, then go and find which file the proper file is for it, and so on, so on, so on. I am going to help Nick out, as I'm a developer as well, to get more and better scripts and improve the way for you guys to get money and to enjoy and make everything more legit. Along that, you'll also be able to have your own houses and garages, so everything will be a lot more legit and more like in real life. And that's something we're going to work in a lot now, as Nick's going to get some extra hands, so we can really start on getting all those professional scripts in and getting them all work. And so those scripts that are in already, to get them fixed, as there's small
User
bugs in them.
disconnected from your channel.
But as Nick doesn't have 24/7 the time to obviously do that, as he has school and work as well, that he just doesn't have time, but now he does. So we are going to, myself, Nick, and the other developers, we're going to do really our best to get more scripts and get better scripts in. Which gets it onto the future of this community. We're going, like I just said, we're going to improve our server a lot. It's already very good now, but we're going to make sure everything is stable running. We're going to make sure the scripts get improved. Also, I'm going to speak to Nick after on what we're going to do with whitelisting in public. If we're going to do times that is going to be public or private. If it's just going to stay whitelisted, if it's going to stay public, but we're going to speak, myself and Nick, and to the other leaders. We're going to speak to that to get onto a conclusion how we're going to do that. Continuing with the future, we're going to get improvements. Well, improvements going to get more social media things, like we'll get YouTubers, live streaming, all that jazz. We'll get slowly into development, Steam
User
groups. We're going to get that. We're going to get it all up, making the okay, get to know your YouTuber. Those things we're gonna probably send out a message or something asking if you're a YouTuber and you want to promote yourself, that you can add your link, and that will make sure that gets popped up and shown, so we can actually promote this community out.
Your channel.
So we can actually promote that all out. Next topic. Yeah, another topic still on reporting. Make sure you please report when people are FRPing, or when someone is messing things up. Please report them or help someone out. If someone is invisible or something, or driving something they shouldn't be, let them know and say, hey, you're wearing a cop uniform, or you're driving a Crown Vic, you're not supposed to drive that. I know it's black, but you're not supposed to drive that. Those are just the rules, blah, blah, blah. Help people out and help all of us, help us to get the community bigger and better and more controlled. Like other servers like USA Realism Roleplay, they have done the same thing. They start small, and obviously every single day they have 32 people or even more on their server, and that's where we're heading to as well. You want to get a server where you enjoy your roleplay, you have something to do, and you don't have to get annoyed by sis being annoyed. We're gonna also make it for cops. We're gonna get. I speak to Nick because I have to see everything how it looks like, but we're gonna make it clearer for you guys to know which vehicles you have to drive, what weapons you need to have, the uniform you need to wear. All of that's gonna get improved. We're gonna get new or improved vehicles and skinning, etc. I'll speak to Nick about that, and you get more detail about that. But we're gonna make sure you guys know what vehicles you have to drive and what weapons or uniforms or protocols, whatever you are allowed or not allowed to do. Coming to something else with applications, we are working very hard on getting your applications done. I know some of you are in this channel that are waiting for applications. Quickly just send me a PM message saying I need my application to be processed or to be taken care of, or I need to do an interview still. Just message it to me if that has not been done yet, and we'll take care of that as fast as possible. But we are getting everything organized as fast as possible. For me, I think that's it. Nick?
Alright. I guess it's my turn now. So I'm going to be going through a couple of topics. James, did you go through the TeamSpeak 3 communication stuff? Yeah?
Yeah, a little bit. But if you want to go over it, then yeah, go ahead. I did a bit.
Don't be afraid to touch up on it, too, if you've got something you want to bring up.
I don't have anything. I was just wondering if he's sure that he finished. All right. So I'm gonna just be talking about some new updates and the whole state trooper thing and what's going on about that. So I'm just gonna start out with the state trooper stuff. So as many as you might have noticed, San Andreas High Patrol isn't a thing anymore. What's happened is we done a retexture, got some new models in and all that good stuff, and the Highway Patrol has been turned into the state troopers. With this came a decision that was thought about for a long time of removing everyone from that department. And basically, what it requires now for you to join the state troopers is you need to be recommended by your sergeant or someone higher than that in the LSPD or by a staff member. This just makes it so that the state troopers have more experience and know more stuff before they become state troopers, because we don't want, a state trooper not knowing how to read someone's rights or know any 10 codes at all. That just wouldn't work out. So that's pretty much it. That's what happened with the Highway Patrol stuff. Of course, the community name is San Andreas Highway Patrol Roleplay, but the reason why we didn't change that is because it's been here the whole time, and it's kind of late to change that now.
Can I jump in real quick here, Nick?
Sure.
To all of my LSPD officers, be advised that when state troopers show up on scene, they take command, plain and simple. I do not care what the scene is, if it's a motor vehicle accident, if it's a robbery. When the state troopers are called in and they get there, they are the active command, plain and simple. Alright? There's no way to get around their authority. The state troopers have statewide jurisdiction for a reason. So when they come onto a call, they're the only ones who are to be communicating to dispatch unless you are, really validly stating something. That's the only reason I want you to talk to dispatch when there's a state trooper handling a scene. It makes it more organized for the scene. It makes it more organized for us, okay? So, that being said, if you feel like a state trooper shows up on scene and takes command and is misusing it, let someone know, okay? But if I get reports of any of my officers giving lip to a state trooper or talking back to a state trooper saying they're not in command or arguing or whatever, there will be punishment. Keep that in mind.
Alright, moving on. So, as many of you might have noticed, we have a couple of new updates. Like I mentioned, the new textures for the state troopers and all that stuff. So, we'll start with the textures then. So, as you've probably seen, state troopers replace the highway skins, and I pretty much explained that earlier. But LSPD will probably get a retexture soon, but it's not guaranteed because retexturing a department will take time, and some people, we don't have enough manpower to do that yet, really, as it does require a lot of hours just to get started on it. Of course, when you first get started, it goes faster and faster, but just the start of it is a hellhole. Takes you 2 days, maybe, to get just 2 vehicles done. Moving on to the whole jailing thing, we have a new jail script in, which means that the officers are now able to jail you for a certain amount of time, so you might want to start being careful about your crimes that you commit as a civilian, as they will actually put you in for real-time minutes, and you won't be released before that time runs out. They won't come and let you out any time earlier or anything like that unless it's said by a staff member that you need to be released earlier. So that basically means you probably will spend 10-15 minutes in jail if you get arrested for something really bad, so I would be careful if I was a civ committing crimes now. Also, there is the point of maybe removing the Lambda menu and the menu in general, just making sure that the whole economy gets built up and all that stuff.
Really?
Which also means
Okay,
that,
hold on.
Excuse
User
me.
disconnected
Give me-
from your channel.
Oh, he
Wow.
disconnected.
Nick,
What?
message.
Great. That was really rude.
I messaged you.
Unbelievable
love it.
disrespectful.
Oh
Well,
shoot! I just
you do
realized
have
we
one or
lost
two of
John,
those
guys.
here. Huh?
Well, he
Yeah,
was too early to disconnect. He didn't
User
even want to
joined
hear
your
me
channel.
out, but sure.
Oh,
Hey,
he's back.
Jerima,
Come on.
you think that's
Come on.
appropriate?
Wait, just don't talk to him. Give me a
User
sec.
disconnected
There
from
you
your channel.
Just leave him.
No, oh, dude.
I could get it later, Chris. Don't worry.
Just kick him away.
All right. So, with the whole removal of the line menu, of course, is to make Civ's RP better. Because from what I've seen, the civilians don't take in count that they actually have money that they have to spend and live off of. Of course, you can spawn vehicles, but act realistic. Like, you don't want to crash your car and pay $2,000
User
to
was
get it
moved
fixed.
to your channel.
That is ridiculous. Who wants to pay that much money for just a small speeding ticket that you could have gotten instead? That is why the whole lambda menu is being thought about. It's also the point of modders coming on and spam spawning airplanes, spawning in vehicles using speed boost, and all that stuff. Of course, I'll let everyone speak afterwards. They can share their opinions on it and say what they think about it. That is just what
User
the point is,
disconnected from your channel.
what it's at right now, because people just can't RP. But again, another part of that is that we are getting a second server, which will be whitelisted. So we have one public server and one whitelisted server. This will
User
probably
joined your
mean
channel.
that the public server will be allowed to use lambda menu and trainers on, while the
User was
whitelisted
moved
will
out
be
of your
restricted,
channel.
most likely, or opposite.
User joined your channel.
We will see how that plays out in the future.
User was moved out of
Can
your
we stop
channel.
moving him out? Just leave him in.
Anyways, that's pretty much all about that. Anyone else want to say something?
Very
Another-
quickly, when we
Right.
jump in.
User joined your channel.
Okay, just very quickly, guys. It says using the channel's recording is bugged. It just means that someone joined the channel. I don't know why it's bugged. I forgot his KitKat. He asked, "Why are we RPing in the city when we're only 7 to 8 people?"
I'll
do-
answer that question
wait,
actually in a bit.
yeah.
When we go through the whole round, we'll answer.
Yeah,
that
I'll
question.
quickly say it now. When you're in TeamSpeak, I have done it already in the past. That I say to the castle, "Where do you want to RP?" If there's 7 to 8 people, then obviously there's no point in RPing in the LSP in Los Santos, in the center city itself, unless you specifically take an area. But that doesn't work if it's public. When it's private, you can easily, when the server is being whitelisted, go around in the channels and say, "Guys, we're 5 people, we're in Los Santos, there's no point. Do you want to go to Sandy or the county area or Polito? Do you want to just stay over on the west side of Los Santos or just in the northeast Vinewood?" Then you can do that. Please do that. Don't think you're not allowed to because you're a Sith and you just have a guest tag. We need suggestions from you guys and we need your help. We can't take us staff members, we can't take all of it on top of us. So if you say, "Okay, it's not working, I'll be driving around for half an hour and I am slipping and I am drifting and I am shooting out of my car and
User
nothing is
disconnected
happening,"
from your channel.
then drop into the channel quickly and say, "Hey, I don't think it's working, let's move to Polito or let's vote where we want to move to." And there's something called draw poll or vote poll, whatever it's called, and just send it and everyone can vote. And then you decide on where you go. However you do it, just get it done. Oh, someone copied my name. And just get
User
it done
joined your channel.
quickly. So that's one thing. That clears up your mind. When the server is public, though, it's a bit harder to, as a Civ, to say I want to move it. If you think it's not working out well or you want to get it moved, then go to a higher rank staff member. For most of the time, me and Nick are quite on a lot, and just say, "I don't think it's working. Can we move to RP?" And then either myself or Nick will type in chat and say, "RP is moving to the state or county area in Sandy Shores or Polito Bay," and then people will slowly start to move.
User in
So
your
I
channel
hope.
was banned from the server.
Thank you. So I hope KitKat that clears up your mind on why it hasn't been moved. It hasn't been moved because no one hasn't said that yet. So guys, feel free to just send a message to an admin or high-ranking staff for saying it's not working out. Can we move it? Because we will put that in process for you.
That being said, if you do not get what you want, please do not flip out at an admin, because I deal with that a lot on a daily basis too, where someone will ask me something and I'll have to tell them no, because they'll be like, "Well, can we move to Sandy when there's a full server?" Well, I can't move everyone to Sandy when it's a full server. It's going to be statewide, because there's just too many people. If you stick 32 people in Sandy, it's going to be a hellhole, plain and simple. So if you get told no because we're too busy, please don't take it to heart and flip that hell out, because it doesn't mean I'm saying no to you. It means I'm saying no because we've got too many people. I don't do it to be a dick or anything, and a lot of people kind of take it as, well, the admins are being dicks and they don't care about the server. No, we do care about the server. We don't want everybody grouped up in one small area. So when the server is statewide, that's why we have state troopers, guys. That's why we put the state troopers into play. Go play in Sandy Shores when the server's really popping, because state troopers will enforce the law out there. It's their job. Alright, so when the server is really busy and you want to go out to Sandy Shores, don't ask if we can move it out there, just go roleplay out there. Grab a few of your friends and be like, hey, let's go out to Sandy and set up some roleplay there.
Yeah, adding on that, we obviously are expanding our departments. Like Nick, you said, we opened, we have now state and probably sheriff will come into department. But that takes time because we need to get people to actually join the do training, blah blah blah, etc. But once we have that, RP can be full map. Because once we have that, more people will join the server, and once that happens, the server will be running full. Which then means we can easily do full RP because we have LSPD units in the city. It's driving on the highways around through LS and around the state to Polito and Sandy Shores, and then we have our sheriff's units patrolling Polito and Sandy. So then we can easily do full map RP, and then we have officers everywhere spread out, so that it's possible to. So you don't have to ask, can we move it, because officers are already there. And as you all are aware, because you do it yourselves, you all check the map every now and then and look where people are, or quickly look where someone is. So then you'll see, if you go over the name tag on top of the little blips, you'll obviously see if there's a cop there, and if you see a cop driving around, you'll easily know you can just go up there. Is there no cop there? Just go there, and then the cops will come up there eventually, or just quickly type in chat. Me and blah 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 and blah 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 and blah 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 and blah 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 are RPing in Sandy Shore, so let's get some cops up there. Cops will make their way up. Um, like Trevor said, we can't always please you guys with every request you have. We do need to keep us to the rules, because we can't say, oh, you're a really good friend to me, so I'm just gonna let you do this, or to a cop saying, oh, Travis, you're such a nice guy, I'll quickly let you drive the Charger. Imagine he's just Officer 1. Oh, it's fine, drive the Charger, change the skin, change this stuff on it, put this ram bar on it, blah blah blah, you're a good guy, do it. We can't always do that. Every now and then we can make a very small exception, or if something doesn't work. I think I did that with John or something. Today his vehicle spawning didn't work, so I said, well, quickly just drive the Charger that I have now, and then don't drive it tomorrow, because I'll get the problem fixed with Nick. So we will do our best to please you guys and get as much things done, but not everything we can do, and not everything we can do at the second you request it. It may take a bit of time to process it, or it may take some time for us to do it as we're doing other things, or we're in the middle of a scenario, but we will get it done as soon as possible for you, if it is possible. So don't think we don't care about you guys, because trust me, we're doing so many things with TeamSpeak in-game, reporting, fixing scripts, making sure the server runs properly. There's a lot of background working that goes behind at the same time while you guys are RPing. For example, Nick is all the time in the control panel fixing scripts while you guys are RPing, or restarting scripts, or putting things in or out. You may have noticed that. So don't think we're just leaving you guys saying, "Oh, you're annoying, I'm in a bad mood, blah blah blah, forget you." We will make sure your requests are taken care of. We will make sure that happens.
Exactly. We as staff are proud of this community. We are proud of what we're building. We look forward to expanding the community, so it makes it kind of difficult when you guys do get, upset at us, because like I said earlier, we're just trying the best we can. We're doing everything we can to make you guys as happy as we can. Much like James said, Nick is never really fully in game. Nick is never fully playing the game. He's always in the control panel. There's always something Nick is fixing, and I cannot begin to count the times that Nick and I have just sat down in the development room listening to music and sending each other scripts or skins or whatever it may be. We are always trying to find new things to make the server more immersive, more realistic, and just more fun. I personally like the fact that we have a bunch of people who are in the team speak, and I like the fact that we're growing the way we are. And it may seem like a really slow and boring process to you guys, but we're doing everything we can to make that not be like that, you know? We want it to be as much of an enjoyable experience as we can for our civs, for our law enforcement, and just for everyone involved. So, you know, maybe just kind of think twice before you start hating on staff and realize that we have put a lot of hours into this server. We have put a lot of hours into development, into the team speak, into just all of it. Just yeah, I guess take that stuff into consideration before you start ragging on us, because we are really trying our best, guys. So that being said, I'm gonna let whoever wants to continue on continue, and
one quick
we can
thing.
go from there.
One last thing for me, and to add that Nick speaking, I want to thank all of you. You might be wondering, okay, why does James want to thank me, or why does James want to thank us? Why is he saying thank you? He's only here for one day officially. I already from today had people saying thank you to me for helping them, or thank you, or say thank you to this person for getting this stuff fixed. That helps us a lot, and the respect a lot of you have, probably 70% of you that are here and I've been with already so far, that respect us, it's really helpful. You can give yourself a pat on the back, because that really gives us a positive mood and gives us hope in us for us to continue doing things. We don't all the time have people saying, "Oh, this isn't good," blah blah blah. If that would happen, us self as developers would feel negative and feel annoyed and sad about it, and do less and less. So I want to thank all of you that are here, because a lot of you I've been with today already, for not complaining or stuff like that, and saying thank you to us for doing things. Unfortunately, there are those couple people like Jer or Mihat or Tim that say those kind of things in the text and spam it because they were annoyed about those things. They probably just have a very short candle in their head that burn out very quickly. But those kind of things are just disrespectful. We try to, like I just said, we try to get everything pleased and fixed for you guys. And I don't know what the problem of those two guys were, but whatever it was, they never told us. So that confuses especially me, because they never said what was wrong or anything. So I don't know. I have no. I'll speak to the other guys later if they knew what the problem was, because I have no clue what the problem was, and they just said that and left. So I want to thank you all for being so respectful and being so kind to us and thanking us for our work. Nick, your turn. Nick.
Sorry about that. I had to sneeze. Well, I'm actually just gonna leave the floor now to the members. If you guys want to say anything, we're gonna start doing one by one rounds, just allowing everyone to speak, and then the other staff members will answer. I will have to go AFK for a bit, but of course I'll just keep the recording running, and then I'll post the edit of it onto YouTube for us all to listen to. So I expect
Alrighty.
James, Chris, and Travis to take control.
Cool.
May I say something quickly?
Go ahead.
In relation to, I think it was Nick that said removing the lambda menu. I think that'd be a good idea, mainly because, as someone just put in the chat, someone just spawned a random plane at spawn. That I think the lambda menu is one of the main issues that RP keeps getting broken. Because you can probably tell when you're in a bank robbery, anybody, especially from police officers' point of view, it gets quite annoying when you just see somebody with a shotgun, and then out of their ass comes an automatic rifle like bloody Houdini. It's just quite annoying for us, and I'm sure it's annoying for all the other civs when they're playing, and you just see like 50 planes spawn in Sandy Shores airfield, and then we have to spend time spawning them because incompetent people are trying to make our life a hell when we're just trying to roleplay. This all adds up to what we've got to do, but removing the lambda menu, I mean, we'll probably do a poll or something or whatever's best, but I do think it's one of the main reasons why the server is getting like lagged, and people just keep spawning random stuff like changing their guns, spawning vehicles. I mean, that's why half the people get kicked or banned, is because they're spawning vehicles, and that can be classed as fail RP, spawning planes or whatever. It's just quite annoying for us, and especially everybody in the server, when they all come to us telling us that, and then that's another person we've got to ban and add to the list. Yeah, we'll see what everybody has to say about removing it. Yeah, I'll remove the power. give the power to the first person. Do you have
I'll give
anything
it
else
to
to add,
Kit
Nick or
Kat first.
Travis or
Kat.
Lewis?
Kit Kat.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, so my counter argue to that is that what do you do when it's only, for an example, 3 players on, it's no medics on, it's no mechanics on? What do you do when your car breaks or when you're like falling down and you die and you're in the middle of nowhere basically? Like
What?
it's so many good things about the menu, but it's also a lot of bad things. So I don't think you should
What would
remove
happen?
it.
What we're gonna do, if I may,
I
are you
think
finished?
wait,
Yeah, go ahead.
I think you should what do you call it? You should minimize it, but that you keep some parts. You can remove things like spawning in weapons, spawning in or teleporting or no clipping, things like that. You can remove that if that's possible, or make a new menu or something like that. But I don't think you should remove all parts because it's many of those parts in there that are good. Like the cars, for an example, right now it's so bad money on the server that it's pretty hard to get money. Like I'm farming daily and I'm having troubles doing it and it takes too long in my opinion. And therefore it's fun to spawn in cars so you actually can have some fun. And yeah, I think it's bad with no clip and so, but I don't think you should remove all of it, just some parts of it.
May I?
I'm done.
Right.
Unfortunately,
Quickly. Yeah. Right.
in
Quickly to.
response to
Oh.
that, unfortunately, what we can't
Oh.
do is we can't take out no clipping or anything like that with Lambda. Unfortunately, there is no way for us to actually edit the menu itself. So,
Can I add some?
Oh, what I.
one moment,
Oh,
guys.
go on, James.
I'll let James go after me, and then you can go, Chris. But what we can do and what we're kind of working on is making a smaller, more compact menu, kind of like you said, where it just allows vehicles and whatnot. So, anyway, go ahead, James.
What I want to say, editing the llama menu is very hard. It's possible, but it's very hard, and you need the level of our developing is not that high. To do that, we have to go through a lot of gates and locks and the problems, so we're not gonna do that. What we are working on though, which I know I've spoken to Nick, I don't know, some people might not know it, but we are going to work on building on our server menu. And in there, we will have the little bits, like you said, or your KitKat, to get things, yeah, and repairs and stuff to get that fixed. I'm thinking of building a project of things that automatically, if your vehicle's broken, no one responds to it or something, that the server will automatically fix your vehicle or heal you. So you're not just lying on the ground for an hour waiting for someone to go online and just press one button and fix you. That the server will automatically fix you and respawn you on the place you are, or on a new place. We'll talk about it, or spawn you to a hospital, or spawn you to the Los Santos Customs where with your vehicle. I'm gonna talk to Nick about it and the other developers on a way to get that fixed. I know a way, but yeah, we'll slowly do that in the. We're not gonna remove the llama now. Don't worry, we're not gonna take it off right now or tomorrow because there's no point in doing that. But we in the future will be taken off, but lots of updates will happen, and there probably will be a new menu in a different system where you don't have a problem with, for example, if you don't have fuel and there's no tow truck, or if you're dead on the ground or shot and there's no ambulance guy to fix you, the server will be able to fix you. If that clears up your question.
Next up, I've got Louis. Lewis,
Yeah,
however
Louis.
you pronounce it.
Luigi.
Say
Chris?
something before.
User requested talk power.
Yeah, just give it
Can I
a
say
second.
something before you give him talk power?
Hello.
Wait, wait,
Okay.
Can I say something?
wait, wait,
before
wait,
you
Yeah.
wait,
say- Okay, so in relation to what KitKat said, the Lambda menu would be good and bad to remove. It'll be good to get rid of the so-called aids of the server, but again, it would like help it a lot. But if we were to remove it and we were to remove gun spawning, etc., we would make jobs. So if you, we probably I'm gonna speak to Nick about it. But if we were gonna remove car spawning and stuff, we probably keep repairing car. But what I would like to do as well is perhaps get more jobs in, and it'd be easier to find the jobs because I know there's taxi, drug running, etc., which will be convenient to do. But doing the jobs as well will make you money. But it'll be realistic money, so not like 200,000 for an hour work of taxi driving, because that's not really realistic, is it? But obviously it's not going to be like $10 an hour. It'll be a little bit more, so you can buy fuel, buy food, or whatever. Yeah. Go ahead, Lewis. John.
Yeah, okay. Also, it's pronounced Louis. It's
Kinda
kind of
figured.
loads of people mix up. It's fine though. So I just want to bring up the fact that
User
I've seen
disconnected
this,
from
that
your
when I've
channel.
been RPing on the server, frequently I've seen players like carrying automatic guns, like
Exactly.
like everyone carries guns no matter what. And I think they should stick to their character. So if it's a character who would actually carry a gun or a knife, that's realistic. But if it's just some like anyone, like it would be great if people
Right.
started like not using weapons, just carrying nothing, or just a knife maybe for self-protection or anything, because like everyone carries a gun, and anything you try and do they just shoot you. You can't, it's unrealistic.
What we're gonna do definitely is we're gonna ban all those really big weapons like grenade launchers and stuff. We're gonna get rid of those because, and sticky bomb and all that stuff. We're gonna get rid of those because it's just ridiculous that people shoot. They suddenly just out of their pocket when they're standing, just pull out a grenade launcher out of their little pocket, with massive grenades and spend 10 grenades shooting at me, or they suddenly pull out 20 grenades out of their pocket or a massive M4 out of their back pocket and suddenly start shooting me. So we're gonna ban the really big, ridiculous weapons because just mute your mic real quick, because that's just too ridiculous to have. Thing with the weapons, we're gonna adjust that in the shop, that you can't just go to a shop when you have money and buy all the weapons. You're limited to a number amount of weapons. So we're not gonna say you're limited to one. You can buy one weapon per real lifetime hour.
User requested talk power.
But for example, only you can buy 2 weapons, for example, or maybe one big one, one. We'll make sure that gets fixed, because every time I search someone, I know your problem. I get like, instead of getting just one knife, one weapon, one little pistol, and 2 magazines, I get every single weapon there's in the game. So yeah, we're gonna fix that on, so people can't just suddenly pull out a massive gun out of their pocket, or suddenly on the driver's seat have a massive gun lying there. But we'll get that fixed. Don't worry. Louis, you want to continue speaking? That's fine.
User joined your channel.
How do I let Louis speak? Where's that? There you go.
Yeah, I just want to say one more thing. If you think about it, in America, people don't, or not everyone in the world carries like handguns as well. It's not just that. It's not just like the big weapons as well. It's handguns as well. Like everyone carries a weapon on them, and it's unrealistic if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the final thing I want to say. Thank you.
What
Okay.
did I miss?
Just quickly back to KitKat's point from before with the wages. Like I said earlier in this talk, we're gonna improve your wages. We're gonna make sure you can get more jobs, so you can do. Because I don't know what kind of jobs are at the moment, but there's not a very big amount of jobs that you can do. But we'll make sure you can work in the shops. You can be a mechanic, tow truck driver, taxi driver, 24/7, whatever. I don't know all the jobs on the top of my head, but anything available. You can be clothing store, whatever, barber shops, be a bartender. We're gonna get all those things fixed. Takes a bit of time to get it all working, but we're gonna get it fixed, so you can actually do your job and get money paid properly. What we're gonna make sure that it works properly as well is that you get money from the state.
User
so you
requested
get
talk power.
so you can get a per hour, for example, Josh Matthews. So that per hour you'll get a specific amount of money. So you will be actually able to do things without having to work. Now, it's not going to be that per in-game hour you're going to get 100 euros. But I don't know how fast in-game hour, but an in-game hour takes, I don't know, 15 minutes to go. But you'll get, for example, like a small, I don't know. We'll speak about how much would be needed, but we'll get a small amount of money that you'll actually get. So you are actually able to start, if you come in a server fresh, you are actually able to start to maybe buy a small car or actually buy clothes and stuff. And you don't have to run around through Holo Santos to get to, and over the highway to get to Sandy Shores to do something. So all that we're going to get developed, so the money problem and all that is fixed. Anyone wants to add on that before I give Josh power to speak?
Negatory.
All right. Josh, I will give you permission. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering if one of the admins can hop in game because there's some kid going around with bombs and shit blowing people up.
Send
And
me
he's
his
My point
number.
exactly.
invincible.
Send the number to me or Chris. The number next to your name and then the reason, and then we'll take care of it.
We'll go ahead and
What
hop
is his
him back
name?
into.
Failson 148. He's
Give me the number.
invincible, spawning a
number.
fuck ton of cars, and he's just flat out audioing everyone on the server. He's
Alright.
just killed
So
Kit Kat as
may
well.
disconnect.
That's all? Josh?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Does anyone still else have any questions or suggestions or counter arguments or just arguments or happy arguments or something?
You
Did
guys
James
Or
also
a dot?
tell. You
Did
you
Nick
can also
mention-
tell me how big my dick is if you want, but that's just
Oh, well, unfortunately, I have to fly all the way to the US, which takes me a couple hours. So if you give me a second.
basically a Walmart sausage. Just saying. James,
Alright.
Did Nick mention about the whitelisted and unwhitelisted yet? Server.
I mentioned it. We're gonna speak about it
Yeah,
after
because-
later. Yes.
Yeah, because I don't know if you were here, but Nick mentioned that we will be creating a second server for
I know.
whitelisted and unwhitelisted.
I know. The whole server thing I've already spoken to Nick about.
yeah.
Classified. Classified.
Not
Classified
really
level 5.
classified because he said it a minute ago.
Ow.
XD.
Well, I just said we're gonna think about it. I never said we're gonna get another server. Oh well. Anyways, guys, we're probably gonna get
Well,
another
message
server.
me, and I'll be able to message.
Okay. Anyway, does anyone else still have any questions? Sorry, but may I ask when the database will come, or is it still database? All that stuff we're working on as hard as possible. Our trains are running as fast as possible, but the call's getting a bit low, so buy some more coal. But no, all stuff like I said, all the like all the online things we're gonna fix, databases, menus we're gonna build. We're gonna get most likely a new, sorry, a whole new police vehicle pack. We're gonna add more different vehicles into the games. You're probably gonna get forms sent from us as well once the Steam group and stuff is out. Forms and stuff where you can put in some suggestions or invites to Excel documents where you can put in your recommendation. But that all will come in the future. So yes, we are working on those databases and things, but just takes a bit of time. But now I'm here, I'll also help a lot on that. Any more questions?
Have you guys done the one member speak at a time? Let them talk.
Yeah, we fixed
Down
that.
to Manfred B.
Any questions? Any statements?
Mr. Manfred,
And-
do you have
oh.
anything you wish to add?
No, man. I have nothing to say really. I just want to
Okay,
say
no worries.
that I'm not a cop anymore. So
Okay.
yeah, it's just that.
Okay. If you want to be cop, you can apply. I will take care of that. Any more questions, statements, anything else?
Tom Green,
Stuff.
anything?
What? Alright. Nick, questions, statements,
No.
something, Chris?
Negative. John, not John. Tom Green might
Travis?
have something. I'm just gonna give him talk power.
Can we?
Tom
Who?
Green, do you have anything to add?
Oh,
Okie dokie, Gucci.
in that case, we are now state green. That means we're all good. So, if no one has anything else to add, you know what we're.
Stop spamming the chat.
Who is dot dot? What's dot dot dot? What's dot 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 dot? Anyway.
I'm gonna give
Oh.
Kit Kat talk power.
No, relax. No. Oh, there you go.
Yes,
You're
what is dot,
scaring
dot,
me.
dot?
Like I asked to be in line so many times.
In
Yeah, but
line. What do you
we're
mean with
taking
line?
turns. There was more people to go above you. 'cause you've
Yes,
already
yes,
spoken,
but
so
you
they're going
said
through the
like, is
list
it any
and we'll
question?
see.
Is it any questions? And I was
User
like,
left
yes,
your
yes.
channel.
But okay, I have 3 things to take up.
Oh, I didn't know you meant yes as in that yes. But yeah, go ahead.
For one, I think it should be another rank or more staff because, as you are saying, you are busy a lot, and therefore I think it should be more staff, and not just on the day because it's not many on at the night as well. And I think that yeah, that's one thing. So maybe someone that isn't as high, but someone that can help new people maybe get started, how to get a job, etc., etc.
Yes. We're gonna work. Like I said, I've only joined today, so all the suggestions and recommendation and requests you guys have, I'm going to process with Nick and Chris and Travis after. But yes, I am thinking of getting some more developers in and some more recruiters that people can do those interviews, because they take at least 10 minutes or more. Those interviews, and especially exams, take ages to be done, and lots of you need to have exams and stuff taken care of and need to have good exams, and that's obviously time that we can't waste, because that's like an hour or more on exams, and interviews take 15 minutes or longer or shorter. So yes, we are probably going to get more recruiters that and people that are have permissions to do interviewing for you guys, people that will be able to train you, more people that will be able to do what's it called, development, more people that will be able to help out in game, but that only have permission to kick people so things get fixed. So yeah, we are probably going to get more staff. But the thing we need to be careful with, like you said, with not too high rank, we need to make sure that if we give the right sorry, we give the right people the right permissions so they can't mess anything up. But yeah, I'll speak to Nick about that after. That's a good point. You got 2 more points?
Yeah, one is about the bug that I've said like I will look into it. So far hasn't. That's the one where you're in the
What
loading
bug?
screen and you're another character. You know, when you
I
die
mean,
as him, you will they will remove all your money that you have on you. Like I've lost
I know.
260K on it.
I said that before. Yeah, there's a problem with the money that when you respawn or rejoin for some reason you don't get your money back. You have to start over again. That's something you need to fix up to make sure that that it registers the money to your IP or whatever number or code when you join the server, whatever this how it works. I forgot the name for it, but I know what I mean, and hopefully you know what I mean as well. But that the money stays registered to you, so when you die or when you disconnect, the money gets registered to you. You know how in GTA Online you have that you can put your money on the bank, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that I'm gonna try it and speak to Nick and see if it's possible, so we can have a system like that. So the money that you carry on you when you die obviously gets lost, but if you have uploaded, wink wink, the money to your bank, it will stay. The money
Yeah,
will
but it's
stay there.
already like that. But the only problem is that when you rejoin
I know,
or do something like that.
but just as an expansion, so you have those two things, but that the money doesn't disappear, it stays. So when you join,
Okay.
stay zero, it will stay your 200,000 or 2K, whatever you said. The money will stay. But yeah, that's the thing that we need to fix, because I've heard some more people saying, "Hey, my money is gone. Where did all my money go?" But yeah, don't worry, that's something we're gonna get fixed, get into.
Okay, so for the third thing, you're talking about another server, right? Is that
Yes.
something you're gonna wait on? Because, like, as a tip, like, try to focus on this one because as it is right now, this is not, it's like average 8 to 9 people on. So, I mean, it should be better if we focus on this server until it gets close to max,
Have you been on the
at least
weekend?
at the day. What did
Do
you
you play
say?
on weekends, by the way?
Yeah, but I mean
Do
also
you play
daily.
on weekends? Yeah, no, but people have school and work, so you got to take that into consideration.
Yes, but I mean still.
Don't worry that if we're gonna add another server or whatever we're gonna do with servers, that we're going to lose attention on one of them. We're working, because both servers will have like the same things. Because if we have a server whitelisted or one public, they'll basically have all the same scripts. There might be some differences in script, because on our private server we might want you to be able to do more things or make things easier. But basically, the servers will both be duplicates for about 85%, and only the other percentage that's left over is going to be different, varying from each other, because not everything in the public server is needed on the private, and not the things in private is needed on public. So don't worry that if we're gonna add another server and you suddenly see another server called San Andreas Highway Patrol private RP, and that server is going to get all the attention, or only the public one's going to get attention, we'll make sure we split out the work properly, and the second server works in the background. So don't worry about that. That will all be taken care of, and the server will keep on being in development.
Okay, I also came up with a third question or a fourth question,
Go ahead.
and that's about cops.
Mhm.
Like I have friends that are cops, and I think it's bad that I'm not allowed to talk to them when they are on duty. I
How you
mean,
mean?
for an
We're doing
example,
that
Howard,
because
he's my friend, and I want to talk to him on TeamSpeak, but he has to be in a semi-serious patrol. which means I can join him and talk to him even though we're friends and we want to talk. I think it should be a way that you can be a cop on duty and still be able to talk to civilians.
You can in game.
Yeah,
You
but
can
I mean,
also,
I'm not allowed to follow him on a mission anyway, so that's gonna be very hard.
You can also use Whisper from TeamSpeak. You can whisper to a group of people.
But then you can't talk, right?
You can.
Yeah, you can. You can talk to each other
That's what
directly.
Whisper is.
Okay.
It can be a channel with 20 people and none of them can hear you except from the person you're targeting.
Okay. Okay.
That's
good.
something. Or else you can do something else, which is just very simple, which is you are with your friend on Discord and you're in the correct channel on TeamSpeak, and you just use push to talk or whatever it's called, microphone muting on Discord and TeamSpeak for wherever you're talking. Either that or you use Whisper in TeamSpeak. Because yes,
Okay.
you are allowed to speak if your friend's on duty, for example. You are allowed to speak with him, obviously, as long as you don't give away hints and stuff about RP. That's just fair RP. But yeah, of course you can talk to each other. But you, as a Civ, cannot be obviously in the what's called the RP channel. But one thing I want to make very clear: none of the RP staffs want to hear complaints or have complaints towards cops because they couldn't hear what the dispatcher said because they were speaking to their friend. You need to, whoever you're talking with, that's for everyone, also me, Nick, Chris, doesn't matter who it is. If you want to speak with other people on Discord or through WhatsApp or whatever, or you want to speak to your friends or be in a group with some other cops because you're a team or something, you need to make sure that in the channel you are as a cop, you can hear in the dispatch channel. That's just the one thing I want to make clear. I don't want to have complaints towards cops or from cops or SIF saying, "Oh, I didn't hear what my thing was. I have to respond code 2 to a car accident." No, you have to respond code 3 to a robbery in process. We don't want to have those kind of problems because that will make communication issues, which gives more issues and more issues. So yes, you're allowed to communicate as long as you make sure that if you're a cop in the channel, you hear what's going on, or in game, you hear what's going on.
Yeah, but
For
you
the rest,
said
go ahead.
they are allowed to talk to me, but every time I talk to them, it's coming down a cop and says, "Yeah, you need to get up to Semiserious. We need more cops on." So I mean, that's kind of false that I am allowed to talk to them in TeamSpeak so long as they don't get hints.
Wait, what? I'm confused.
You said that
No,
they
so
are allowed to talk
basically,
to me as long as they don't give hints, but they always
yes.
get
So
moved to
I can whisper
Semiserious.
you if you're in Civ 1 and I'm in Serious
Oh,
Patrol.
you're
I
talking
can
about
whisper you and
Whisper.
talk to
Okay,
you.
okay.
And if you're in here and I'm up in another room, I can whisper to you. And as long as you're not involved in the scenario, and you're telling me what to do, so you're telling me to not arrest you or not detain you or let you go, then that's all well and good. You can do whatever you want in Whisper as long as you don't do that, because
Yeah.
that's obviously classed as metagaming, and you're breaking a scenario quite badly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we do it, and we set ranks where people can apply for Civ, and you've probably seen that on the forum. The only reason is because
User joined your channel.
if if we allow a certain officer to play officer, but then we allow them to go as Civ, then they might be on Civ more than they are as police. That's not what we want. We want, equal, obviously. But yeah. Anyway, James, you were saying?
Sorry?
Were you saying anything?
No, I can't remember if I was saying anything.
Okay.
I actually have
Anybody?
something to touch up on the whole thing on reading the forums. So of course for officers, like you just said, they have to be Trooper 2 or higher. to
User
become a
left your
civilian.
channel.
Great.
I would prefer if you're on the website and you see that there's a any news announcements or
User
anything
was
like that.
moved to your channel.
Please read it, no matter what rank you are. Just read it, just so you know.
Hey,
Because if there's no staff member on, you're still able as a member to tell people like, hey, did you check out the rules? Be careful because you might get kicked or banned if you don't follow them.
yeah, there's just one quick thing I want to beg you guys to do. Please read information or cop info or safe info. There are all the channels but that will contain info at the top with either website links or with text in them. And so please read those and make sure you know the rules. They're also the basic rules are on the banner of the what's called of the server, but not we can't fit everything on there. So please read all the information for your rank or department or whatever that is focused on you. And please, if we send messages to you or if we put in Steam announcements and stuff, don't just click on escape or skip or whatever you click on your desktop so they go away. Please just click on them quickly and spend 10 seconds to read them, because it helps us out a lot. Because a lot of things you guys will be asking afterwards or in the future was in that information. Because I've had in the past a lot that I send out lots of announcements and spent 10, 30 minutes, hours on typing those things up, and then no one reads them, and then I spent the whole week answering the same question. So it's not a big thing you have to do, just click on it and read it, because that helps us out a lot. And helps you out a lot as well.
Alright, I think this wraps up this meeting pretty well.
User
Thank you
left
for all
your
coming
channel.
and staying.
Mucho merci. Thank you very much, guys.